What's poppin', nation? I finally got that bitch. Say hello to Yukina. First things first, I hope everybody's having a beautiful day today, man. You know, it's where I'm at right now. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm talking about 85, sun beaming. Had to get them miles in and woo, I'm probably gonna be black as hell before the summer hits. But you know what? Sacrifices must be made. I'll be black if I can be sexy. Back to the subject at hand. Me and Yukina, we've been together for about a month now, and let me tell you something. I'm about ready to put a ring on this chick right here. My thoughts on the PlayStation 5 thus far. Let's start with the design. I think the design of the PlayStation 5 is absolutely beautiful. Although it does look like the Dark Tower from the Lord of the Rings plus two white shells and you got a PlayStation 5, you know? But I'm a fan of bigger consoles, and this bitch, it is big. You seen it just a second ago. It took about this much of my body. But you know what? I'm leaning towards it being my favorite PlayStation design so far, with the fat PS3 coming in second. If you want an in-depth breakdown of the PlayStation's 5 guts, like the parts and the specs and all that good stuff, you're gonna have to go somewhere else because we don't do that here. But I will say I am impressed with the power of the PlayStation 5. I didn't expect a huge leap in graphics. I mean, have you seen The Last of Us Part 2 running on the PlayStation 4 Pro? It is not going to get much better than that for a while. I can't wait to see what Naughty Dog is going to do next. If you were looking for a huge jump in graphics with the PlayStation 5, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, because as of right now, it's about the same from PS4 Pro. Later on down the line, I guarantee we're going to have that leap. Now, where the PlayStation 5 shines, in my opinion, is these load times. The speed of the PlayStation 5 is blowing my mind. I remember playing Assassin's Creed, the very first one, on PlayStation 3 way back in the day. You know, I'm old. And I would load this game. I would turn the game on, go to school, so it would be loaded by the time I got back home. Assassin's Creed Valhalla loads in less than 30 seconds. Miles Morales don't even got no loading screen. Do you hear me? It keeps you much more immersed in these games. Let's say, what I used to play a lot, The Witcher 3. I wouldn't fast travel in that game because of the loading time. I want to keep myself immersed in this game, and I want to keep playing. I don't want to have to go on Instagram, see what's popping up. I don't want to do all that. So the speed, you got me sold on that. I'm all in on the speed, and I knew it was coming. Ghost of Tsushima on PlayStation 4 Pro, it loaded in less than 10 seconds. No bullshit. And it was blowing my mind. And I still don't know how the hell they got a PlayStation 4 game to load that fast. So it was only up from there. I would have been pissed off if the loading times was slagging. Slagging was lagging with the PS5. I would have been really pissed off about that. The loading times, you sold me on that alone. It is pure heaven. The majority of the games are running 4K 60 frames per second. And after playing the 60, I can't go back to the 30. Nope, your boy cannot do it. The bastards known as the Master Race, aka the PC elitists, been playing 4K 60 frames per second for years. Well, I got news for you PC elitists, us console street rats. Oh, we coming for you. The PlayStation 5 also has ray tracing, which renders lighting in real time or something like that. I really don't know all the science behind it. However, I do know that it takes your viewing pleasure to a whole nother level. Nation, I was playing Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I was in this little laboratory, and I'm running. All of a sudden, an enemy pops up. I start swinging on his ass, right? Bruh, it was my reflection. The wall was made of glass, and it was my reflection. I tried to whoop my reflection's ass. That blew my mind. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know ray tracing was gonna be that big of a deal, but I'm all in for the ray tracing. Unfortunately, you can only play with ray tracing on if the 60 frames are off. This some bullshit. I can see the PC elitists laughing their ass up. Hey, shut up. There is hope, because with Spider-Man Miles Morales, there was an update where you could play with ray tracing on, although it's a toned down version of the ray tracing, and you could play with the 60 frames. And I really didn't know that they had that update till I was halfway through the game. So I did enjoy the ray tracing, but once I played that Miles Morales with the 60 frames on, Took the game to a whole nother level, do you hear me? I assume once we start getting those big titles exclusively for the PS5, that's when we'll start seeing the ray tracing upscale, like the full power of the ray tracing and the 60 frames per second. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But you know what they say about assuming. The user interface, it is boringly cool, I guess. One dope thing is they finally separated games and media, which I prayed for on the PlayStation 5, but it never came. But here we are, and we got that. The cards, when you like tap the PlayStation button and it pulls up those little cards, I think those are really dope because it tells you like how much percent you have left to beat a certain mission or how close you are to a trophy, and how you can go into certain games and figure out exactly what to do to get the trophies. Because I don't consider myself a trophy hunter, but I do like hunting trophies for certain games. And Assassin's Creed Valhalla got some dumbass trophies, man. There's one trophy in there where you gotta be on fire, kill 3 elite soldiers without breaking their shield. Who's doing that? The PlayStation Store is finally built into the UI, but it's not as, I don't think the store is as good as it was on PlayStation 4, because it's hard to find things now. Like, usually when something new popped or something was free, because your boy likes free, it will pop up right on the store on the PS4. But on the PS5, you really got to dig in there and go find the thing. And I don't really like that. Show me the goods as soon as I go up on that thing, you feel me? One thing that kind of sucks is the storage of the PlayStation 5. Now, it's not really a big deal to me because usually after I beat a game, I'm done with it until I want to revisit it, if it is worth revisiting. It's not that much storage, so you can only put a certain amount of games on there. But I got quite a few games on there right now, and I still got quite a bit of room left, so that's not a big deal to me. But some folks probably pissed about that. But I do believe this summer they're gonna do a patch or something where you can upgrade your storage. But I'd be damned if I pay that much money for a PlayStation 5 and gotta upgrade something on that bitch. I'm not doing. I will be deleting these games. The Dualsense is fucking amazing. Do you hear me? I believe it might be my favorite controller of all time now. From the size, design, and the haptic feedback, man, OMG. I can't even explain it to you. You gotta experience it for yourself. I mean, I love this controller. I should have had it in my hand, but it's so far away right now. The DualShock 3, trash, okay? It's utter trash. It feels like a toy, it feels cheap, it's disgusting. Throw it in the trash can. I mean, I still got mine, but the DualShock 4 was a humongous upgrade. It was an improvement. The touchpad, I really liked the touchpad at the time when it first came out, although a lot of people didn't take advantage of the touchpad, but you know, it returns on the DualSense. The DualShock 4 was such a huge improvement, the size and everything. I was like, yo, this might be the perfect controller. I used to think the Xbox 360 had the best controller when it first came out, you know, but Microsoft kind of messed that up with the Xbox One, shrinking it a little bit, and I like big controls, man, you know? So the DualShock 4 was amazing when it first came out, but let me tell you, this DualSense is a little bigger, it feels nice, and it kind of makes the DualShock 4 not trash, but feel cheap. My advice to anybody who's just getting a PlayStation 5, you should play Astros Playroom first, and then you will understand how genius the DualSense controller actually is. It takes full advantage of this controller, sometimes a little bit too much, but you'll understand the ins and outs of this new technology, I guess, and the haptic feedback inside of the controller, man. It's freaking amazing. Yes, I want to play Astros Playroom right now. Now, Nation, for my folks who has not secured a PlayStation 5 yet, don't worry. You ain't missing out on nothing crazy yet. The key word is yet, because some heat's coming. I know it's coming, boy. You got about to May to get that thing, boy, because Returnal about to be fired. I also bought this little charging station. It's really kind of dope, not gonna lie. I bought it because the official charging station from Sony is obsolete. Can't find that shit nowhere. So in my opinion, I think this right here is the best second option that's on the market. Real talk. It matches the console very well in my opinion, and the charging light is orange around it, just like the charging light on the DualSense when it's charging. It's really dope. I'm gonna leave the link down below if anybody want to check it out. And I don't get nothing from it at all, but I think it's a dope charger, so y'all should really check that out if you cannot secure the official charger, you know. And I actually think it looks better than the official charging station myself, and it's It's pretty solid. It's not made cheap. Let's say that. Now, let's get into some games that I have been playing. Now, this is not an in-depth review of these games, although I will be giving these games scores to the ones that I've beaten so far. I just want to talk about them a bit, and no spoilers, so don't worry your pretty little head. First up, we got Astros Playroom, and as I said before, this game takes full advantage of the Dualsense controller, and it should be the first game you play when you pop open your PlayStation. It's free! Why not play it? And it's got a really easy platinum. Woo! Got that! This game has so many Easter eggs from the history of Sony. It made me want to go back and play some of the classics. I'm not even gonna lie. You can find the little bots reenacting scenes from any game that you can think of, which is really, really dope. And that final battle was fire. The final boss is fire. I can't wait to see more from Astros Playroom. I can't even lie. The level design in this game has so much depth, and the levels are actually pretty long. I had a fantastic game with that. I'm gonna give Astros Playroom 3.5 PlayStations out of 5. Yeah, I know you like what I did there. It's a great game to relax to. Like, for instance, when you're getting your ass beat in Control and you just want to calm yourself down, you throw on Astros Playroom. Speaking of Control Ultimate Edition. It was free with PSN Plus, you know, so I had to cop that thing. And this game right here, man, it's hard as hell, unless I'm just trash, which is highly possible. And I got lost a lot, man. The story, not gonna lie, I was actually very confused for the majority of this game. Yeah, I had to replay the end and read some more of the files, collect some more of the files, and now I think I have a better grasp of what actually happened in that game. And if they didn't make a part 2, I'm all for it. If they leave me with my drawers hanging in the wind, I'm okay with that too, because the mysteries in general are a beautiful thing to me, man. It keeps your mind wandering, like, what happened? Like, no, I think this happened, but what about that? So does that tie into this? You know, it gets the wheels turning in my mind. You play as Jessie, who's looking for her brother, which leads her to the Federal Bureau of Control. Shortly after, you run into this enemy known as the Hiss, who takes over the human mind. There are some absolutely beautiful plot twists in this story. Do you hear me? And the gameplay is fun, man. It's really fun. You start off with a melee attack and a gat. That's it. But as the game progresses, you unlock more abilities. And by the end of the game, you feel pretty powerful, even though I was still getting my ass whooped. You almost feel as powerful as the Scarlet Witch. Now, I was playing this game as, WandaVision was airing on Disney Plus. And I really felt like the Scarlet Witch, the way I would fly around, I'm shooting beams, I'm picking people up, throwing them down. I mean, I was getting my ass beat. Like I was Scarlet Witch before she unlocked her potential. There is one mission in particular, the maze. The maze in Control might be the funnest level I think I've ever played in a video game. The music, the design, like, oh man, it blew my mind. I've replayed that mission probably 6 times now. It's so fun. And there is plenty of content in this game. Although the story's not too long, there's plenty of side missions, and there's also some DLC with the Control Ultimate Edition that I'm still getting my ass whooped in. I plan on getting the Platinum Trophy in Control. That's how much fun I'm having with it. I think I'm about at 75%. I have beat it, so I will give it 4.5 PlayStations out of 5. That game is fun. Next up, we got a game that I didn't think I would enjoy as much as I did. And I'm talking about Bugsnax. You play as this creature known as a Grumpus. You're a journalist trying to discover the secret of Bugsnax and the island, Snacktooth Island, from which they come from. Well, which they grow on. You basically run around collecting Bugsnax for the other Grumpus that you ran into to eat, which transforms their body parts into whatever snack that you fed them at that point in time. But the story of Bugsnax is where it actually shines, and that ending had me like, yo, what the fuck? I got the Platinum Trophy pretty easy also, you know, so that's a plus. I'm giving Bugsnax 3.5 PlayStations out of 5. It's not a bad game. I mean, you should play Bugsnax. I played it because it was free. You know what? The 3 games that I just went over were all free on the PlayStation Store. So thank you, Sony, for all that freeness that I got with my new PlayStation 5. I really appreciate you. But the next 2 games, they came with the bundle pack that I got. Next up, we got NBA 2K21. This game is really pretty, and you play basketball. It's fucking 2K. Let's move on. Spider-Man Miles Morales. This game is the next installment in Sony's Spider-Man's verse. You know, it's not an actual sequel, but it's a next installment. Now, other than this game being short, and make no mistake, this game is short, it is also freaking amazing. I actually enjoyed Spider-Man Miles Morales more than I enjoyed the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game. Not gonna lie, that ending is epic. I'm talking about Gohan defeating Cell type epic. Gameplay, fire. Story, fire. And I love all the little sprinkles they throw in there for the next installment to this Spider-Man verse of Sony's, which I assume would be Spider-Man 2, a sequel, a direct sequel to the PS4 Spider-Man. I think me being black, I relate more to the things Miles Morales does in Spider-Man Miles Morales more than I did Peter Parker in PlayStation's 4 Spider-Man remake or game, whatever you want to call it. Although the story, and make no mistake, the story in Spider-Man PS4 is freaking amazing. I just related to this one more because it's a more condensed story, I think, and Miles, he in the hood, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course I'm gonna relate to that. I'm giving Spider-Man Miles Morales a 4.5 out of 5 PlayStations. And I'm going to get that platinum. No, make no mistake. I'm trying to get through these other games that I'm playing right now, and one certain game has taken over my life. We're gonna get into that a little bit later, but I really hope that we get more of these games like this, the shorter games, kind of like Uncharted Lost Legacy, while we wait on those bigger titles, you know. Like, I like those little games. I have no problem with the length of this game. Could it be longer? Just a little bit, you know, but in my opinion, game's fine. Next up, we got Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. I remember the year I got my PlayStation 2. The first game I got was Resident Evil Code Veronica X, which was terrifying at the time. But that's not the point. It came with a demo disc, a Devil May Cry the original. And to this day, that is the most fun I've ever had with a demo. So ever since then, I've been a Devil May Cry fan. You know, whenever they drop a Devil May Cry game, I'm all in for it, except 2. 2 wasn't that good. Even the remake, DMC, even though I ain't like what they did with Dante or whatnot, it was a really fun game. You play as fan favorite Dante and Nero from Devil May Cry 4, and also a new character named V as they take on a new powerful demon. I feel like that's the story of every Devil May Cry, but you know what? I ain't mad at it. Each character plays so differently, which I really love, because usually when you have a game where you play as multiple characters, each character is just a copy of the other characters, you know. They all play very similarly. So these each have their unique skill set. Like Dante, he get up in your face, ha, slash, boom. Nero, you can grab a motherfucker and pull him to you and hit him with the combos. And V, he don't even fight himself. He summoned up the spirits from the underworld, but he has to get the finishing blow. You can also upgrade your weapons at Nico's store, and Nico fine. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Sometimes I just be in the store and I just be looking at her stomach. I need to get my life together. When it comes to gameplay, it's Devil May Cry, so you already know the combat is fun, man. Throwing together all those different techniques and switching throughout your weapons to put together a stylish combo is freaking fun. I mean, enemies bombard the screen and you might be getting your butt whooped for a second. All of a sudden you switch to a different weapon or you do a different technique and it's just like stylish. I can't stress enough how fun the combat is in Devil May Cry, and I'm pretty sure the majority of you guys have played Devil May Cry. Man, come on, it's Devil May Cry. Although I will say, I am sick of buying the same abilities every Devil May Cry game. God of War 1, right? You go through the game and you unlock all these different abilities, and you climb to the top of Mount Olympus and you get knocked down at the end of the game. Spoiler, I mean, God of War came out on PlayStation 2, so if you ain't played it, so sorry for you. As God of War 2 picks up, or is it God of War 3? I may have my games mixed up. But in one of those games, you get knocked down and you're going through Hades, you're going through the underworld, and your powers are being stripped from you. So you have to go back through that game and regain those abilities that you lost. I'm okay with that. All I need is a simple explanation. But Devil May Cry, every game I buy air hike, which is the double jump, right? The next game, I gotta regain that ability. I don't understand why. Why do you keep losing your abilities that I built up in the last game? Capcom, can you like do something different? Can I keep my abilities, and can you be more creative and give me new abilities? And also, while we giving out requests, could I have a Devil May Cry 1 and 3 remake? Since y'all remaking all the Resident Evils, I would like a DMC, not DMC, because that was actually a reboot remake, Can I get a remake of the original Devil May Cry and Devil May Cry 3? And if you want to like just redo Devil May Cry 2, that boy got some bars on him. If you just want to redo Devil May Cry 2, I'm all in, because that story was pretty trash. The story of Devil May Cry 5, so far, it's pretty good. It has a nice little pace to it. I haven't beaten the game yet. I believe I'm on like mission 15, and typically with Devil May Cry games, you get about 20-something missions, so I'm pretty close to the end. But I have not beaten it yet, so therefore I cannot give it a score. If I give this game a score without beating it, just because the pacing is good and I like the characters that's in it, we get to the end, and it's a trash ending. That's gonna ruin the whole game for me. I am the type of gamer that invests myself in stories. I love stories, from beginning to end. Give me a solid story, character development, and I'm all in. So I can't give it a score just yet, but just know I'm really enjoying the game, and I would suggest it to a friend if I had to. Maybe I'll do an update video once I beat a few games to let y'all know how I'm feeling about them and actually give them scores. Who knows? Last but certainly not least, the game that has taken over my life. If I showed y'all the hours that I've put into this game, I would be ashamed of myself. And I didn't even really think I would enjoy this game that much, but the game is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, if you've been following the channel for a minute, I did a lot of reaction videos to the trailers that they dropped in the gameplay of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I was really liking what I saw. I'm a pretty big Assassin's Creed fan, but after Assassin's Creed Unity, I hit Assassin's Creed fatigue, because they was dropping them bitches every year, But Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I think it's because it reminds me of The Witcher 3. Don't get me started on The Witcher 3, because it's up in my top tier of games. I'm about over 100 hours into this game. I'm doing everything though. Like I'm clearing all the maps, I'm playing all the side missions, and the story's pretty good so far. So you play as Eivor, and you can choose female or male Eivor. I choose female. Anytime I get a chance to choose a character's gender, I'm going for female, because there's something sexy about strong female characters. That's just me. Female Eivor is very charming, and I make sure every chance I get her some pipe or some kitty cat. Either or, we fucking. I feel like the cast put around Eivor is pretty solid also. They come and go through arcs, and they do not outstay their welcome. Actually, some of the characters I like so much, I'm like, man, we bring them back for just a little bit, man? Of course there's betrayal, some plot twists, and I'm really enjoying the story so far. After leaving Norway, Eivor and her brother Sigurd head to England, where they start their own settlement, which you have to build up, and you can go on raids and find chests, that same old Assassin's Creed formula to build up your settlement. The raids in this game are really, really fun. They added a new segment to the game with a patch where you can go down the river and you raid different settlements on your way down the river. I'm not gonna lie, it was fun like maybe the first time, but it's not really that fun. It becomes very repetitive after a while. If you just do raids on different monasteries throughout the game, where you space it out, it doesn't become that repetitive, and it's actually really fun. The core of the story pretty much is Eivor's going around forging alliances with different settlements and kingdoms, because you never know, you in foreign land, you might need some backup, right? So we got to make these alliances. So cuckoo, we call them in, they come running, you know what I'm saying? Well, you got to send it by pigeon, and it might take a few days for them to link up with you, but you know they coming, because I had your back, now you got mine. And they also have rap battles in this game. It's fun, I'm not gonna lie. It can lead to sex sometimes, and it can just lead to just enjoyment. You know, they be spitting too, I ain't even gonna lie. And she's forging these alliances while she's also taking on the Order of the Ancients, aka them Templars. You know they was lurking. You can't have an Assassin's Creed game without the Templars. The side quests in this game, they are actually pretty fun. They are not repetitive, and a lot of them are pretty fun. Ran into this one dude with a axe stuck in his head. One dude that just jumped off a cliff. And I also found a famous baseball player for the LA Dodgers. You can also take on legendary animals and some witches who's been whipping on my ass. There's not that many weapons in this game. Like one problem I had with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they would just vomit out different weapons. It's a little overwhelming. I would just like to have one super strong sword or axe for the majority of the game, and then I go to like a dungeon or something and I find a new, more powerful sword that I can upgrade. That's all I need in my life. I'm a simple man, you know. Speaking of upgrade, the skill tree is humongous and good, and you can reset your skills at any time. If you feel like you made a mistake, just hit that reset button and yeah, reset your skill tree. Rectify the mistake that you feel like you made, but I don't think there's really any wrong choice. It just depends on if you want to go more stealthy, more combat heavy, like melee heavy, or you want to go range. Simple as that. One thing that I absolutely love about this game, it is bloody. I don't think we've had an Assassin's Creed game this bloody ever. Now, with every Assassin's Creed game, you're gonna get this. There's no way around it. The bugs. There's quite a few bugs in this game. It's a lot of times I be running around, it's an arrow just stuck in Eivor's hand. Why? I must say the bugs aren't enough to take me out of the immersion of the game, so no real gripe with that. It's Assassin's Creed. I expect it to be a little glitchy. And I didn't get to play this game on PlayStation 4, but on the PlayStation 5, England is absolutely beautiful. And don't get me started on Asgard. That's not a spoiler. You get to go to Asgard in this game. That Rainbow Bridge though, the game is absolutely beautiful, but I am not playing in quality mode. I'm playing in performance mode. Now granted, when I put the game in, I think it's quality mode, I put it in that, it was beautiful. But I started getting my ass whooped because I'm used to them 60 frames now. I told you earlier in the video, I can't go back to the 30. I can't do it. So 60 frames, in my opinion, is the way to play this game. It still looks beautiful, man. I do believe there will be no game that comes out on these new gen consoles that will not look gorgeous. No score just yet. But if this story holds up, this will be my favorite Assassin's Creed game over Black Flag. The first game I got for my PlayStation 4 was Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and the first game I bought for my PlayStation 5 was Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And both, well, Assassin's Creed Black Flag at the time of this recording is my favorite Assassin's Creed. Like I just said, if things continue the way they're going and the ending is not trash, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be my favorite. That's kind of crazy. Maybe Ubisoft should just stop making Assassin's Creed games until a new generation comes out. Black Flag came out and it was a cross-generational game. And I think I said this in one of my reaction videos. It was a cross-generational game, but it was my favorite Assassin's Creed. And then they came out with Assassin's Creed Unity, and I didn't beat Assassin's Creed Unity. It had way too many bugs, and the story was, yeah. They changed the formula, so I'm hoping the Assassin's Creed game that comes after Valhalla is not like Unity, you know what I'm saying? But then they made Syndicate after Unity, and Syndicate was pretty fire. I put it in my top 5 Assassin's Creed games. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. Bottom line is, I am enjoying my PlayStation 5, and if you don't have one yet, it is okay. but you need to get that bitch by May. Telling you, man, I should have been a rapper out here in these streets. I'm spitting. I'm spitting in bars. Anyways, let me know. Have you secured a PlayStation 5 yet? And if you have, what games are you playing? Also, what are you most excited to play? Let your boy know. Till next time, guys. I'ma holler at y'all. Peace.
You know you want to. Just do it. Join the nation. Subscribe!